Hello, and welcome to a special episode in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month with a special reading of Too Many Tamales, written by Gary Soto and illustrated by Ed Martinez. Snow drifted through the streets, and now that it was dusk, Christmas trees glittered in the windows. Maria moved her nose off the glass and came back to the counter. She was acting grown up now, helping her mother make tamales. Their hands were sticky with masa. "That's very good," her mother said. Maria happily kneaded the masa. She felt grown up wearing her mother's apron. Her mom had even let her wear lipstick and perfume. "If only I can wear Mom's ring," she thought to herself. Maria's mother had placed her diamond ring on the kitchen counter. Maria loved that ring. She loved how it sparkled like her Christmas tree lights. When her mother left the kitchen to answer the telephone, Maria couldn't help herself. She wiped her hands on the apron and looked back at the door. "I'll wear the ring for just a minute," she said to herself. The ring sparkled on her thumb. Maria returned to kneading the masa, her hands pumping up and down, and on her thumb the ring disappeared, then reappeared in a sticky glob of dough. Her mother returned and took the bowl from her. "Go get your father for this part," she said. Then the three of them began to spread the masa onto the corn husks. Maria's father helped by plopping a spoonful of meat in the center and folding the husk. Then he placed them in a large pot on the stove. They made 24 tamales as the windows grew white with delicious smelling curls of steam. A few hours later, the family came over with armfuls of bright presents. Her grandparents, her uncle and aunt, and her cousins Dolores, Teresa, and Danny. Maria kissed everyone, "Hello," and then she grabbed Dolores by the arm and took her upstairs to play, with the other cousins tagging along after them. They cut out pictures from the newspaper, pictures of toys they were hoping were wrapped and sitting underneath the Christmas tree. As Maria was snipping out a picture of a pearl necklace, a shock spread through her body. "The ring!" she screamed. Everyone stared at her. "What ring?" Dolores asked. Without answering, Maria ran to the kitchen. The steaming tamales lay piled on a platter. The ring was inside of the tamales, she thought to herself. It must have come off when I was kneading the masa. Dolores, Teresa, and Danny skidded into the kitchen behind her. "Help me," Maria cried. They looked at each other. Danny piped up first. "What do you want us to do?" "Eat them," she said. "If you bite something hard, tell me." The four of them started eating. They ripped off the husks and bit into them. The first one was good. The second one was pretty good. But by the third tamale, they were tired of the taste. "Keep eating," Maria scolded. Corn husk littered the floor. Their stomachs were stretched till they hurt, but the cousins kept eating until only one tamale remained on the plate. "This must be it," she said. "The ring must be in that one. We'll each take a bite. You first, Danny." Danny was the youngest, so he didn't argue. He took a plate and bite. Nothing. Dolores took a bite. Nothing. Teresa took a bite. And still nothing. It was Maria's turn. She took a deep breath and slowly, gently bit into the last mouthful of tamale. Nothing. Didn't any of you bite something hard? Maria asked. Danny frowned. I think I swallowed something hard, he said. Swallowed it? Maria cried, her eyes big with worry. She looked inside his mouth. Teresa said, I didn't bite into anything hard, but I think I'm sick. She held her stomach with both hands. Maria didn't dare look into Teresa's mouth. She wanted to throw herself onto the floor and cry. The ring was now in her cousin's throat, or worse, his belly. How in the world could she tell her mother? But I have to, she thought. She could feel tears pressing to get out as she walked into the living room where the grown-ups sat talking. They chattered so loudly that Maria didn't know how to interrupt. Finally, she tugged on her mother's sleeve. What's the matter? Her mother asked. She took Maria's hand. I did something wrong, Maria sobbed. What? Her mother asked. Maria thought about the beautiful ring that was now sitting inside Danny's belly and got ready to confess. And then she gasped. The ring was on her mother's finger, bright as ever. The ring, Maria nearly screamed. Maria's mother scraped off a flake of dried masa. You were playing with it, she said, smiling gently. I wanted to wear it, Maria said, looking down at the rug. And then she told them all about how they'd eaten the tamales. Her mother moved the ring a little on her finger. It winked a silvery light. Maria looked up, and Aunt Rosa winked at her too. Well, it looks like we all have to cook up another batch of tamales, Rosa said cheerfully. Maria held her full stomach as everyone filed into the kitchen, joking and laughing. At first, she still felt like crying as she kneaded a great bowl of masa next to Aunt Rosa. As she pumped her hands up and down, a leftover tear fell from her eyelashes into the bowl, and for just a second rested on her finger, sparkling like a jewel. Then Rosa nudged her with her elbow and said, Hey, Niña, it's not so bad. Everyone knows that the second batch of tamales always tastes better than the first, right? When Dolores, Teresa, and Danny heard that from the other side of the room, they let off a groan the size of 24 tamales. Then Maria couldn't help herself. She laughed. And pretty soon everyone else was laughing, including her mother. And when Maria put her hands back into the bowl of masa, the leftover tear was gone. I hope you enjoyed the reading of Too Many Tamales. What a wonderful story. Have a wonderful night. Now, a word from our sponsor. Want to start your own podcast? Start with Anchor FM. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it is absolutely free. They also have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor FM will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple, and many more podcast apps. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. So, if you're interested, please download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Well, that concludes another episode of Coaching You Through All Things Education podcast. As Confucius states, those who develop the ability to continuously acquire new and better forms of knowledge that they can apply to their work and to their lives will be the movers and shakers in our society for the indefinite future. Again, you can find me on LinkedIn or on our company Facebook page, A&C Unlimited. And please take a moment to visit our website at acunlimited.org for that free consultation. Until next time, stay stress-free and be well.